I will be teaching a vocabulary lesson to first grade. My objective is use pictures and context clues to confirm meaning of unfamiliar words, ELA 1E1. It will take about 30 minutes. For review, I'm going to review the 5 new words that they're going to learn. I will say, when I say these words, repeat after me. Veranda, autograph, attire, exhausted, and weeping. The purpose of today's lesson is to introduce 5 unfamiliar words and define those using pictures and context clues. For motivation, I will be reading Fancy Nancy and The Late Late Night. I adore visiting my neighbor, Miss Devine. Here we are having tea on her veranda. That's a fancy word for porch. Veranda is one of our vocabulary words. When she was a child, Miss Devine lived in Hollywood. She used to see lots of movie stars, only Miss Devine calls them celebrities. Isn't that fancy? She has a special scrapbook of photographs. Some are autographed. That means celebrities signed them. Autograph is another one of our vocabulary words. Your scrapbook is extremely fascinating, I say. Fascinating is even more interesting than interesting. Ooh la la, Miss Devine says I can borrow her scrapbook if I bring it back tomorrow. Merci, 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 I say. At home, I pretend that I am a Hollywood celebrity. I dress up in my most glamorous attire. That's a fancy word for clothes. Attire is another one of our vocabulary words. I give my autograph to all my fans. I pose for photographs. I'm late for a glamorous Hollywood party, I tell my fans. Au revoir. You say it like this. Au revoir. That's French for goodbye. On my door, I put up a sign that says, Do not disturb, because celebrities need their privacy. I want to look through Miss Devine's scrapbook, but I hear my dad calling us all to dinner. After dinner, I learn all my spelling words. I am practically an expert at spelling, because I know it. Mom says, Nancy, time for bed. Oh no, I haven't a second to look at the scrapbook. I beg my mom to let me stay up later, but my mom says no. It's a school night. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow you can stay up later. I put on my nightie and get in bed. My parents kiss me goodnight. Sleep tight, they say. But guess what? I am not going to sleep. Under the covers, I have concealed, that's fancy for hidden, a flashlight and the scrapbook. I stay up very late. It is almost 10 o'clock when I put away the scrapbook and turn off my flashlight. I bet even celebrities don't stay up this late. The next morning, when my dad wakes me up, I am exhausted. Exhausted is even worse than tired. Exhausted is another one of our vocabulary words. At recess, I am too exhausted to jump rope with Bree and my friends. I missed 3 of the words on the spelling test. My brain is exhausted too. After school, I return Miss Devine's scrapbook. She asked if I would like to stay for dinner and watch a movie called National Velvet. It's on TV tonight. It's about a girl and a horse. I loved it when I was your age, she says. It sounds fascinating, but I can hardly keep my eyes open. I go home and start weeping, which is fancy for crying. Weeping is another one of our vocabulary words. When my dad asks what's wrong, I confess. I was naughty. I stayed up late last night, and I had a terrible and exhausting day. My dad doesn't scold me. He says, now you understand why you need a good night's sleep. That night, I go to bed even earlier than my sister. On Saturday, I woke up feeling glorious again. Glorious is fancy for wonderful. And guess what? Miss Devine taped the movie for me. I can see it tonight. Dad was right. Even fancy girls need their beauty rest. So after I read the book, I will show the words and the text that we just read from Fancy Nancy on the smartboard. So this is what I put on the smartboard. This is the Fancy Nancy words used in the sentence that was in the book. This is a picture of the word or a picture of the word, of someone doing the word, and this is the actual definition. So an example, I will read, here we are having tea on her veranda. That's a fancy word for porch. And then I will show them what a veranda might look like, and then I will actually give them the actual definition. After I show them all 5 words, we will get into groups of 2. I will give each group different words, and I will hand out the vocabulary word map worksheet. I will explain the worksheet. I will say, right here, you write your definition in your own words. I've already provided the definition, so they can go off of that. Then you write your synonym, which is a word that means the same thing as the word you're using. And this is where you and your partner will write your own sentence about it, and then you can draw a picture of it, and your vocabulary word goes in the middle. After the students have completed their worksheet, they will be asked to come to the front of the classroom to share their picture, their sentence, and their synonym. For closure, I will ask 5 questions. I will say, can someone show me what someone who is exhausted looks like? And then someone would come up and demonstrate what exhaustion might look like. Can someone explain to me what a veranda is? Can someone use a tire in a sentence? Has anyone ever got a real autograph from a celebrity? Can someone show me what someone weeping might look like? For homework, the students will go home and cut out 3 pictures of the vocabulary words of their choosing. The early finishers, the people that finish their worksheet early, will be able to get in a group and reread and look at the pictures of the Fancy Nancy book that we just read. For special needs, the students with a reading disability will have a paraprofessional helping them with their worksheet. And the student who is ELL will have me helping them read and understand their worksheet. For remediation, the student who needs remediation will get in a group, and I will go over the meaning of the words using the same template I put on the smartboard, which is the one with the Fancy Nancy sentences, the pictures, and the definition. For enrichment students, they will, instead of cutting out 3 for homework, 3 pictures of the vocabulary words for homework, they will cut out all 5 instead. And that's all.